Remember, experimentation is vital. It's good. When my channel first began, pandemic shortly began after that. I used the word experiment. I really hope and pray that people didn't think that that meant it was a bad thing. When I say experiment, I love experimenting. I'm a beast. I actually have a science degree. Love the idea of testing, watching, evaluating, and then at the end find out, was your theory accurate? It's how we learn. When you've got Saturn in Aquarius and you've got Mercury in Aquarius, Saturn is the one who's making the rules, which means those rules can change because they're an experiment. Like, we don't know how to do this, or it's been a long ass time since we've done this. So kind of give us a little bit of, wiggle room. We don't have it all clear cut. Not to mention we're dealing with the flexible moon's nodes, which demands that we be flexible. We may say something 1 minute out of this side of the mouth, and out the other minute we may say it this, and it may seem like a complete contradiction. The last 18 months have been a time of complete contradictions. The whole point, to consider ways of thinking, to consider ideas and thoughts that you never would have considered 2 years ago. Something you're considering today, whether it's the way you live or the way you're making money, choices that you recently made that you never in your wildest dream would have even considered. Has that happened to you? I would love to hear about it. I can raise both hands in the air. I never wanted to be somebody on YouTube doing a video with me looking at you and talking. No way, Jose. That was not for me. Here, it's Mercury in Aquarius doing something we've never done before. Remember, this is supply chain issues, right? Because it's Aquarian energy is all about service to the group. It's also air, so it's air flight. Air, it's the airlines. With the moon's nodes about to enter into Taurus and Scorpio, this means that we're going to have Aquarian and Leo energy squaring up. The year of 2022, basically the next 18 months, the airlines are probably going to be showing some major difficulties. Now, when we get into the Mercury retrograding, so remember, disruptions in communication. So for those who watch the Starry Night Lives, we may have to keep on being flexible. The internet and disruptions are probably going to be a real thing. If it's not the equipment, right? It could literally be, there could be something in the atmosphere that causes a problem. Remember, this is all still an experiment, right? The internet is how many years old? We all volunteered to come in at this time because we're open-minded and we have what it takes to be adaptable, to be changeable, and to be a part of this wonderful, beautiful human race. Mercury retrograding, it's the rethinking and the redoing. Where is 10 degrees of Mercury in your chart? 10 degrees of Aquarius, okay? So whatever house it sits in, know that if you have to make a choice or a decision there, you're likely going to get an opportunity to make another choice and another decision. Or if you just go ahead and make one during a Mercury retrograde, which, by the way, I always recommend never to make a big decision during a Mercury retrograde, to wait until the Mercury retrograde is over. If you can't wait, if you have to get your taxes done, or if you have to sign an important document, get some advice, get some professional advice before you sign the document. Get 4 eyes, get 6 eyes to look at whatever it is, some sort of oh crap, I got to do it all over again. Which brings me to the supply chain. Whatever speed there was in the supply chain, we could probably see slowing down. January 13th, January 14th, expect to hear something big from the government or the boss at work. Expect to hear that because we got the sun and Pluto together. Pluto and Capricorn is big boss energy, right? So in the US, this will be the courtroom. This will be, the bosses fighting, the government, political figures, political parties, and all that professional world wrestling match type of thing. So we'll be watching all that play out. In general, you could expect to hear something big. Now, finishes her retrograde. You got that? 24 degrees in Capricorn, which means Mercury passes over Pluto. This is important because it's big business and government. Structures of your society, any long-standing structure of society, whoever's the person at the top, power. Big, sick money. You don't know for sure and you just want me to take a peek, just comment to me below and I can check that out for you. A whole lot of stuff happening by the 3rd week in January. A lot changes. Things start to take root. The North Node is in Taurus. They start to stabilize a little bit. And this is a good thing. However, it's going to root out anything that is just dangling and that's not really firm. It's saying, oh, you're not strong, you're gone. And I'm not talking about people dying. I'm talking about companies. I'm talking about businesses. This is when we're going to kind of see this isn't working. This just doesn't have what it takes to make it, because it's the nodes in Taurus energy. It squares group energy, group transportation, but it also squares Leo energy, children, creativity, joy, and our fun. It's also where we take our risk in our world, dating, the relating, the mating energy. I would just want to make sure I wasn't taking any unnecessary risks for the next 18 months with my children, create, procreate. You know what I'm saying? Interesting when it comes to sports and betting and gambling and the stock market. It's Taurus, which is money, which is our income, squaring risks with money. February 3rd, the Mercury retrograde is over, but then it has still yet to get back to its retrograde zone where the retrograde began. Third week of February is when Mercury gets back to the 10 degrees of Aquarius. Now, when Mercury gets back to that 10 degrees of Aquarius point, that is literally where you feel more confident, where you saw the experiment, you saw the piece of information that was missing, where you got the phone call or you got the email or you open up an envelope that this whole time had been sitting there unaware, and you got something, a nugget of knowledge that you didn't have before. And with this extra information, you can make a better decision. And that is the beauty of a Mercury retrograde. Yes, it can be a pain in the butt because it messes with our electronics. And you know how we are with our electronics. We are extremely impatient because our electronics have taught us that we can have almost just about anything we want at the push of a button. When it doesn't happen that way, we get pretty darn irritable. You have until February 23rd. Mercury is now back to that point, and you can make decisions. You can sign the dotted line. You can be more confident about choices that you had on your plate and your options. What I like about this time in February is that Venus and Mars are together in Capricorn. It's all about our long term. We're able to think about long term. We're able to think about our future and our stability, because that's Capricorn energy. It's combined with our goals, but it's our money, it's our values, and it's what we're willing to take action with. But we're saying, okay, I'm ready to start this. Like, this is a go. I'm going to make some money here. Or I know how to save money, or I know how to invest money. That's Capricorn, long-term investments, commodities, stuff you can hold in your hand. I'm not bashing crypto. I'm not bashing Bitcoin. I'm not bashing Ethereum for sure. The rest is we just have to learn. We're just experimenting. And that's what a lot of this stuff is. And we're probably going to see a lot of that regulation coming in the next 18 months. I don't doubt that the US is going to create a digital dollar. That might even be the way to help them to get out of their deficit. I'm not really sure. I'm not an economist. This is just talking about stuff that keeps coming in that I keep on hearing. I flipped to the chart real fast for those who are into that. Together we're better. And if you don't know and you want to know, comment below.